How to Sing Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. Hey gang, Ken Tamplin from Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. Now, I get a lot of people saying, gee, Ken, you teach everybody how to sing high and, belt and all these different things. But I just want to know how to sing low or how to sing low well. I'm a bass or a baritone. And though I am interested in singing high, I'm really more interested in singing in my range and doing that well and learning how to go the other direction with my range and sing low. So we're going to talk about that. Now, the reason I focus on high is because the whole world wants to learn how to sing high for the most part. So it's actually a joy and a privilege to be able to do this because this is actually more in what's called my tessitura or my range, okay? So I want to play it. I did a version of this myself. I will put it in the description. You can see how I did, and we'll walk through this a step at a time. And I'm going to use this as the template by which I teach you, okay? Here we go.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by a wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire.
Okay, I want to stop there. Now, for you guys out there, we've talked a lot about laryngeal positions. You guys remember that's your Adam's apple or your larynx, okay? And for the most part, I train a low laryngeal position first. Let me explain this. And a lot of people say, no, you should never sing with a lower laryngeal position. You should always sing in a neutral position. I'm so tired of people spouting things that don't know what they're talking about. There is different reasons you sing in different positions. And ultimately, yes, in bel canto, you want to try to get to as much of a neutral position as possible. I developed a system. I have a singing course. We'll talk about that later. But I've developed a system using bel canto, the old operatic style of singing, that normally teaches everyone to want to try to get to a neutral position depending on your vocal fach or type. Fach, F-A-C-H, or type. It's an operatic word for type. And German operatic word. So I say that because in the baries and bass tessituras, they actually train a lower laryngeal position. And in the tenors, also they train in a lower laryngeal position first, especially if you're dramatic with a big voice. You get this big sound like, Placido Domingo or Pavarotti, Mario Lanza or, I don't know, anybody. So I say that because in opera, they do not allow you to touch an aria until you've practiced your vowels for 4 years. I am not, look it up, okay? Straight up. And I remember going through this going, so I'm not allowed to really sing anything for 4 years? Like, how many people are really gonna do that? So I remember as I've got 30 years, almost 40 years, I'm at 30-something years under my belt of singing. And I thought, well, I'm gonna come up with a system that teaches people how to do it a lot faster. Now, let me explain why they do this. I promise this will make sense to you guys wanting to learn in any laryngeal position. This is really important. I found a system that if you learn to sing with a lowered laryngeal position first, you would understand how to relax it to a neutral position and even sing kind of funny baby and sing it in a raised position. But if you trained it in a lowered position first, you wouldn't accidentally default to a raised laryngeal position that a lot of people do in and they go up to get a note and they get caught in their larynx because it raises, it goes under the digastric muscle underneath the chin, and it gets caught in this position and they can't go any higher. So they have a threshold or a ceiling for their range because of this effect of this straining or pulling up this laryngeal position. So I learned that if you train the throat to have first a lower laryngeal position, really low, you could relax it to a neutral position and really understand the mechanism on how it moves, okay? This plays an important role for you guys in the lower register. That's why I'm bringing all this up. It also plays a big role for everybody else too, but I'm focusing on the lower laryngeal position right now. So what I found is, as I trained my own voice to a lowered position, I could really negotiate, understand, and manipulate the different positions in the throat depending on what I'm singing. In this case, singing something low. So I want to play this again, and I want to do this a step at a time. So check it out. Here we go.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring.
Now let's do this together. You guys, you males out there. So I want you to kind of start low. By the way, it's kind of cool to do this in the morning, first thing when you wake up, because your voice is already set really low. So, love, So you want to practice, and you want to practice lowering your laryngeal position. Now, if you notice, a lot of berries and basses drag or scoop from the bottom when they go to get their note. You'll see them go, love, bum, 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 bum. And they'll do this, kind of scooping from, almost sounds like a tuba or something, trombone singing really low, bass trombone. So they do this because they want to seat the larynx low, because sometimes it's hard to get good intonation and pitch. And one other big element, a lot of people ask, well, how do you get power and range, and how do you get the throw of the voice or projection in a lower position, because there's not a lot of strength in the sound? This is precisely how. I want to know, and you literally train the larynx to stay low. So, love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire, Right, we can go down. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames are getting higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire. Now, we also can cover the sound to have the amphitheaters in our face project and darken the sound to make it sound warmer and rounder. Watch. If I go, I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames are getting higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Right? Now watch this. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames are getting higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Right, right. So if I go like this, and I cover it by closing and darkening the face. Oh, I'm kidding. Sometimes I just crack myself up, sorry. But if I cover, I fell in, and I keep this, the face long in the face. I fell into a burning ring of fire, right? Then, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Now, did you notice two changes? One, the larynx went into a neutral position. Watch. So if I raise it really high, that same note sounds high when it's really low, okay? All because of the laryngeal position and the covering of the face, not bringing too much mask in the sound and pushing the sound downward in a tubular downward sort of state of the tonality or the brightness of the sound. So I say that, so let's move on, okay? Hopefully this is interesting enough for you. There's a lot to this too, by the way. It's not just this one thing that does this. There's a few mechanisms, because I am supporting the sound, and I have built up the brightness and the timbre of my sound to sing low. Even though I am a Barry, I had to work at that too, to get the brightness of the sound rather than it just kind of sounding pillowy. I had to learn how to close down the sound, kind of like yeah. Right, so I had to learn how to close that sound down while maintaining open throat technique. Let's continue.
Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames are getting higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Okay, so if you can tell, this isn't just a lower larynx position. This is a drop larynx position, kind of like a gospel quartet and country sort of combined. I'm going to drop it even farther in this chorus here. Ready? Let's keep going, Nick. Here we go.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames are getting higher. And it burns, burns, burns.
So,
I fell into a burning ring of fire. And it went down, 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 and the flames are getting higher.
now watch that same note with a raised laryngeal position and me bringing it in the face. It'll be the same note. You hear the difference? Because the larynx is dropped, it creates a cavernous space, like a barreling effect of resonance that comes up. I fell in, bum, 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 right? I'm able to get to that real low resonant sound because of the positioning of the throat, the open throat technique, the brightness in the sound, and the darkening of the placement of my face, not covering the sound, or covering the sound, not brightening the sound into mask, okay? Hopefully this information was helpful for you guys. I've got a lot more of these coming your way, so definitely stick around and check out my next video.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames are